One of the questions I've been hearing for years at conferences, on Twitter, in masterminds, and entrepreneur groups is, how do I know what to charge? There's this conundrum of not wanting to undercharge. Of course, we're all trying to secure that bag, but we're also afraid that if we charge too much, we won't get any business and no one will hire us and everything we're trying to build will fall apart. I want to start by saying that I struggle with that balance all of the time. And I think it's rare for someone to set a price once and stick with it forever without ever changing it. But it can be awkward, especially if clients are trying to haggle with you. Most of us are conditioned to be pretty uncomfortable when it comes to talking about money, and we do want to be fair. A few years ago, a friend of mine, Kristina Louise of InfoSci gave an amazing talk about calculating pricing. And it totally changed the way that I think about setting rates, and it's such an easy and objective way to find the perfect balance. I've been using her system ever since. She gave me permission to take her info and compile this video to share with you. So let's dive in. The first step is to establish what Kristina Louise calls your goober, or get out of bed rate. Have you ever heard like a celebrity or an influencer say something like, "Oh, I don't get out of bed for less than 5K. That's how you should be approaching your pricing. You need to have a baseline and learn to say no to opportunities that aren't going to be a profitable use of your time. Your get out of bed rate is calculated by finding out how much money you need compared with how much you actually want to work. And there are two different types of goobers, your personal goober and your business goober. Your personal one is your annual personal expenses divided by the number of hours that you want to work per year. Your business one is your annual fixed business expenses divided by the number of projects you want to have per year. Both need to be reached in order to cover all of your expenses. I love starting with this because you're not starting with the services. You're not starting with the customer. You're starting with you. You're starting with how much money you want. So if your personal expenses come out to, say, $60,000 a year, and you want to work on client projects for 1,560 hours per year or 30 hours per week, you need to be charging no less than $38.46 per hour. This is your personal goober. So easy, but we're not done. Uncle Sam is going to want his money too. So Kristina Louise recommends you account for taxes by multiplying that amount by 1.2 or 20%, which actually brings us to an hourly rate of $46.15. Let's look at the business goober now. Let's say your annual fixed business expenses, meaning the money you spend to actually keep your business running, maybe that's office space, rent, fees for software you use, whatever, comes out to $24K, and you want to work on 6 projects a year. 24,000 divided by 6 would mean your base or minimum project cost would be $4,000. And with that tax markup of 20%, that would actually be $4,800. Now, believe it or not, we are still not done. Kristina Louise also suggests that you add markups for how skilled or experienced you are, because you are worth way more than the bare minimum. If you're an expert in your field who's been doing what you've been doing for a long time, you want to be charging for that. If you have certifications and training and all of these other things, you want to be charging for that, because we're not just service providers. Clients are paying us for our consulting, our experience, our knowledge, our insight, and our network. All of that needs to be factored into your pricing. So now let's talk about activity-based pricing. For every individual service that you provide, whether it's part of a package or part of a project or not, charge. Client wants you to do something, charge. Client wants you to change something, add something, remove something, charge. If it's a big something, break that big something down into small somethings and charge for each one. That means that you can't just think about how much you charge for a website, but how much you charge to build a page, how much you charge to install a plugin, how much you charge to provide a revision to a design, because all of this adds up and all of this takes time. Hint: using activity-based pricing is a great way to keep scope creep under control. You are being paid for every single thing that you do, and another thing will have a set cost that you can explain to your clients. So if they want to tack on another page, there's a set cost for that, and you have that prepared. So think of it this way. If a client wants a 10-page website, wants WooCommerce installed and configured, and wants 6 variable products installed, you can use your hourly rate plus activity-based pricing to come up with a solid quote. So say it takes you 3 hours to design and build each page. Maybe it takes you 1 hour to install and configure WooCommerce, and it takes you 30 minutes to install a variable product. You're going to know all of this if you're tracking your time, which is very essential for finding these numbers. Let's take that request and use the numbers we just came up with earlier on in the video. So we got 1 page, the amount is 10, so the cost will be $13.84. We got WooCommerce plugins, just 1 install, $46.15. 6 variable products at a cost of $138.45. The total cost for your project is $1,568.60. This charge is very basic, but it adequately displays what is being asked for and how much it will cost. And if a client wants a new product added on, you can show them this chart so that they'll understand exactly what that cost will be. Doing this is fantastic because the client will see the exact value of each activity and they'll understand what it is they're actually paying for. Instead of thinking of it as a website, they'll understand all the work and individual items that go into the project. They also have the ability to figure out how the price might change if they want to add or remove services without even having to ask you. I love this because as a freelancer or small business owner, by educating your clients, you empower them and make them easier to work with. So that's how we set our rates. I'll put the formulas up right here because I know you want to take that screenshot and share it around. Just please make sure to give Kristina Louise and I our due. Will you implement this structure? Do you already use a similar formula for pricing or maybe something completely different? Please let me know in the comments below. I want to hear how you currently set your pricing.